The world is in desperate need for more war simulators on globes. Why are they so hard to find? This game's called Conquest. It just released, and we're about to see a full world battle royale here in 2024. Third time's a charm, am I right, Germany? Yemen's currently starting off in a civil war. Also, North Korea and South Korea are currently still in a war, just like they are in reality. They just don't fire at each other, usually. I like how we have all of Canada, but we are differentiating between Canadian Quebec, which is obviously very different with their French. And again, because it's a globe, we can finally see the North and South Pole here. Who actually has this stuff? There's Chile, the British occupied part of it, Norway. I think this is the accurate. I mean, again, technically nobody owns Antarctica yet, but people are claiming it. This is kind of what we're going to Australia. This is the best we got. I mean, kind of. Here's New Zealand over here, which New Zealand is actually pretty close by. So here we go. DruuuWu or spectator mode. Let's get things started. So this is going to get really chaotic really fast. There's already multiple wars happening in Europe. One of them being, as Russia and Ukraine are getting back into it, is Belarus attacking? Why are there rockets being thrown at Russia? Let's keep a very close eye on this. It looks like Czechia and Poland were also fighting for a second. Holy crap, Indonesia is getting into it with Australia. I don't think I've ever really seen that war happen in simulator games. I mean, they rarely happen this fast. China, I think, is going to start to move in after Central Asia, and Iran is going after Turkey. I don't even really know what type of messy. I mean, everyone's occupying different territories. Oh, Lithuania. Oh, the Baltics are going in after them. Man, rockets are flying everywhere. Can we get a Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth again? Africa's kind of in chaos, but not as much as other parts of the world. I mean, Ethiopia is a complete mess. Yemen has finally been united. Again, more rockets being sent from Iran and into eastern parts of Turkey. Crimea is obviously occupied. Ukraine might be falling at some point, but Lithuania is trying their best to fight them off. Oh, Finland's in war with them too. Okay, Russia's in several different wars. What was that? Is there a rocket being thrown at like the US? Who launched that? Was that a nuke? Did you guys see that? It's like a long arrow going over the North Pole. Love the globe. See, again, the globe. We wouldn't have seen that otherwise. Greece is completely occupied by Kosovo right now. Meanwhile, Serbia, I think, is just watching. Wait, what flag is that, Serbia? Oh man, now Kazakhstan is moving in after Russia, but China is trying their best. I think China and Russia might have a little bit of an alliance, so I really need to check the diplomatic map modes a bit more often. They are actually allied to North Korea and Japan. How did they get that? They're at war with Kazakhstan, Estonia, I think. Wait, what is this? Austria, that's like moving over into this territory for whatever reason. There seems to be an obvious NATO here that's going to currently keep things in order for now, at least in Europe and North America, but who knows for how long. Technically, NATO is extending into North Africa because of the Italian coastline here. Grab that from Algeria. China is also, so Japan has switched sides. This is like a evil fascist Japan again, I guess. I don't know. India is actually allied to Pakistan. This world is already completely insane. They have a truce with Turkey, and they're currently at war with Saudi Arabia. Here's a look at the industry map mode, or basically showing parts of the world that have a ton of industry, the US being one of them. This is really how you gain a lot of power. China's a massive industrial hub, so is India. Russia needs to get to that, which is why they're trying their best to move into Europe. And then one of my favorite map modes in this game, a linguistic map mode. I don't really know why we have it, but I love that. I just love to see it. And I love to check out the linguistic map mode at the very end when like all this chaos is taking place, like who's speaking Spanish, who's speaking English, who's speaking Italian again, or Latin languages. And unfortunately for Russia, they've made so many people angry. Luckily, Russia does have a mutual enemy with Kazakhstan. Iran is having a little bit of trouble with Saudi Arabia as they move across the Persian Gulf. They're also hopping over Kuwait, but then again, Iran just got that back. We really need mods. I really hope when we get mods in different scenarios, different historical globe maps, because that would set this game apart so much. I don't know where that came from, but I was just thinking about it right now. And these rockets are kind of flying everywhere. And they're hopping over big countries as well. Lithuania continues to get bigger and bigger out here. So yes, China is taking over pretty much all of Central Asia. Afghanistan getting some pieces here and there. Korea, South Korea specifically, just took over Taiwan. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, I think Japan or Russia, I don't know. Russia's dead. Russia's not dead technically, but it looks like Russia's about to be dead. Funny enough, and it might be Lithuania or Estonia or I don't know, Latvia that might be the one that kills them. Did all the EU join in, or what exactly happened here? Oh, well, China's going in after Russia. That's kind of the problem. We've got the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese all taking these coastal tiles. Oh, dang, we got an Indonesian Australia. That happens so fast. Now, Australia still exists in Tasmania as well as in the Arctic. That's why we need the South Pole. Or I meant Antarctica, my bad. So not used to including the poles, obviously. The French have almost completely taken over Brazil, and this is coming from French Guyana. That's impressive. They have a pretty big advantage since they have that massive off-continental territory. Everything else in North America has been pretty chill. Well, I mean, besides in the United Hispaniola, united under Ecuador, I should mention. Also, Mexico is taking over, it looks like, Costa Rica. Oh, we do finally have a European war as the Swedes are going after Norway, or vice versa. I'm not sure who went after who. Estonia is taking over a large part of Russia, and America has across the North Pole using maybe Alaska to get this deeper part of the Russian lands. Holy crap, look at this China. This China is massive. Turkish Egypt, look at that. Also, Israel's been taken over, as well as the Suez Canal by Lebanon. I think Germany took over Switzerland. Yeah, I think that's a German Switzerland. They also went through the lowlands again. Are they about to attack Paris, or what's going on? We have Germany at war with Austria. Why is Austria a perfectly straight line? What the hell is going on? I believe Russia does not exist. Russia has been killed. Also, the U.S., who is allied to a majority of NATO, and they're also all of, I guess, South America at this point. Man, China's just going and wrapping completely around Mongolia. You guys don't want to start the Genghis Empire again, or what? Oh, China and America are at war. That's bad. Also, we have Korea trying to take over Indonesia and Australia. New Zealand over here just chilling. Because it's a globe, everyone's going to be forgetting that they even exist on this map, to be honest. Turkish Egypt now extends to South Sudan, or they're at least knocking on their doorsteps. Problem is, Greece is attacking the northern parts of Turkey. Sweden has taken the vast majority of Norway over. Very big Latvia, who I believe conquered Lithuania. Novgorod. Did Novgorod randomly come? Wait, how did Novgorod form? Russia does still exist, but it's just a mess. Oh boy. What the hell just happened? The Americans just took over all of Chinese mainland, and they're continuing to take more and more. China's been migrating more and more towards Central Asia. Or did they just explode? Did they just explode right now? China just ceased to exist. Now we have America, Fujian, good something. I don't want to pronounce that. Again, with the North Pole and with access to Alaska, they were able to again, this never happens on flat map simulators, so I like this about the globe. They just attack them directly. Man, and now Germany is moving towards Austria. Are they still at war with Austria, or what? Austria is such a weird empire. A lot of yellow nations, or I think we just have a giant Ghana, a giant Spanish Ghana. Oh, is this actually Spain? I think this is Spain wrapping around them. Oh man, rockets are now flying across the world, flying at Cuba. We have the UK in formerly known as Haiti. Okay, well, the Ecuadorians have kicked them out. France is looking a little bit smaller here in Brazil, as Argentina and Peru have picked up more land. Oh, we also have British, basically Chile and Bolivia. Big united Sweden. There is no more Norway. Cambodia took over Laos at some point, and now we have British New Guinea, as they've taken over Papua New Guinea. So the British are up to their old ways again. The world is going to have to start to backstab America, because they are so powerful. They have all of China and still all of the US in North America. They're still going after people too in Central Asia. It's a pretty giant Italy who's taken over a lot of the former Yugoslavian states, Croatia, Bosnia, Slovenia. Big ol' Estonia over here, who's kind of replaced Russia in a way. I've never even heard of that nation before, so there's clearly new nations that are forming before our eyes. Oh, Iran took over all of Turkey, which obviously means that Turkey's Egyptian territories collapsed. Italian Syria, that's unique. Afghanistan does still exist, but just barely, as the Americans are once again attacking Afghanistan. Maybe they can finally get the win here. Don't know how Oman grabbed this territory from Pakistan, but whatever. Also, there is Thai Oman that we're seeing, and the Emiratis have attacked Yemen. Finally, Germany and France getting into it. Oh my goodness. I think Germany might have pissed off a lot of the EU by doing this. Shouldn't have told them third time's a charm. Forgetting that Greenland is here, and Greenland is still under Danish territory. Man, this American empire continues to extend. They actually are chopping little parts off of India at the north. Oh man, and now we have Swedish Japan. The weebs in Sweden, they're losing their mind right now. I don't really know how they got to this like far east region of Siberia, and then they've kind of been like tile hopping their way down to Japan. Japan does still exist, but only in a couple spots. At Tokyo with the Swedish flag. What could possibly be going down there? The amount of Ikeas that probably just opened up. Oh, interesting. New Zealand momentarily, I think, took over wait, is that New Zealand? That is Mexico. Never mind. That is Mexico. Mexican, Tasmania. I was confused. Wait, is this Mexico, New Zealand as well? No, that's just normal New Zealand. Okay. I think there is some territories changing hands here in the Antarctic continent, but not much. Oh no, India's down here. A lot of this stuff is being occupied. Now the South Americans are trying to kick out the French from Brazil. Oh my goodness. And France has been completely occupied. They're now completely controlled. I mean, this is not the first time, but again, the Germans have all of France. Not a big surprise there. The U.S. gonna break out into a civil war, or what is gonna, like, how is the, oh, U.S. took over Vietnam while they're getting revenge for like all their losses. They have America, Burma too. They did take over Afghanistan. Yeah, they really are getting revenge on everyone. Azerbaijan, who's gotten pretty big. Yeah, Sweden is literally reforming a great Swedish empire, a great northern Swedish empire. Yeah, these rockets are flying everywhere. I actually recently reviewed like a meme map that showed like why isn't Japan considered Nordic. Like, if you look at it from the North Pole perspective, Japan is right here, and now Japan is controlled by Sweden almost completely. They've almost completely eliminated the Japanese government, so Japan really is. They really are Nordic at this point. The Philippines still exists, but even Sweden's taken over that region. I saw this the last time we played Conquest. Mexico's taken over all of Australia. They've also taken over all of Indonesia. But what's Germany gonna do now? Are they gonna go attack Poland or what? Oh, Poland's actually big because they took over Polish Estonia, but they're also, I think they're in a war with Latvia? Greek Donbass. Guinea's getting big. Ethiopia's getting big. There's too much yellow on this map. The Italians are extending their colonies in the Middle East. They actually have the Holy Lands. They have Jerusalem. The Pope has landed. Oh, the U.S. and Mexico are getting into it. That's actually a pretty big war. Oh, well, actually, maybe the U.S. is just gonna take them all over. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, the Cubans have taken over a majority of the Caribbean. Also, the Indians taking over a bunch of the coastline in South America. Yeah, the American Empire is now taking out all of Mexico. Oh my goodness, that's a scary America. Who's gonna beat this? Who is honestly, like, I don't know if there are civil wars. Maybe, I think there are. Oh yeah, by the way, the year is 21, let's say 63. What nation is this? Where did they come from? Oh man, the Latvians have driven down the Italian peninsula. Italy does exist barely right here. Okay, well, they're getting territories back, but they're losing stuff. They're actually firing rockets from Italian Syria. Also, we have the Argentinian Sahara Constantine coast. What the hell is going on? There's so many names I've never seen before. Jeez, that U.S. empire. Wow. Surprised that Canada is still allowed to exist. They did take over Greenland, by the way. They did take over Iran. They did take over a lot of Southeast Asia and Australia and a lot of portions of Russia, including even North Korea. Maybe Sweden can stop them, but even Sweden does not look that powerful. I like kind of just zooming out and watching as all the different rockets, because the world is so like global and everyone has colonies all over the place, you know, the rockets are flying everywhere. Yeah, just look at that. I mean, just halfway across. Are those nukes? I doubt they're nukes. Dang, look at this Latvia. What is this Latvia? And then Poland has this massive Polish enclave, which is technically considered Polish Estonia. There's also Romanian Anatolia. Oh man, Argentina is actually getting really big. They haven't kicked out the French from Brazil just yet, though. Sweden has completed taking over South Korea, Taiwan, and all of the Philippines. Mexico does still exist on Indonesian islands, funny enough. The Swedes might be taking them over at some point. Indonesia exists in Papua New Guinea. So what is this? The Indian Bismarck Archipelago. Okay, I don't even want to know what's going on in the Antarctica region. It's kind of hard to even see what's going on. It's a pretty big Colombia they got. Though the Italians no longer exist in the European continent, they do still exist in Syria and Iraq. America has not decided to take over India just yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Thailand too. Thailand's kind of blending in because they have a similar blue color. Argentina has moved all the way into Argentinian Greece and parts of Turkey, although Poland is giving them a lot of fight, so is Portugal. Oh, Thailand's taking the part of Africa over. Meanwhile, the Spanish back in Africa. Oh, this is a big German colony. I didn't even pick that up. Guinea is still big over here. Also, the Spanish are coming back. I wonder how long it takes. How long do you have to hold territory before they start to speak your language? We're going to check by the end of this game. Polish Estonia continues to get bigger and bigger. They're the ones that are going to have to fight off the American Empire at some point. Yes, Sweden did. They are beginning to take over those parts of Mexican controlled the Indonesian islands. It's hard to say some of this stuff. Just doesn't sound right. Hi, Kenya. That's definitely a new one. South Africa had a good opportunity to get pretty big here, but I don't know what they've been doing. Although, you know, Madagascar is on African mainland. Oh, there it goes. Finally, India is falling. And they're falling to the Canadians and Malwa that's over here. Yeah, I think the Canadians have pieced out. They've gotten this stuff permanently. The Americans might also be attacking from the north. Sweden getting bigger and bigger. I really do like the Swedish Empire. I'm glad the Americans haven't chosen to take them out yet. Oh, the Americans are going after Estonian Polish lands, which is now Polish Petersburg. I also really like this really strange looking Latvia. How have they been able to hold on to this for so long? We also have a pretty big Hungary that's taken over Serbia and all the way down to Albania. The Americans control once again the Panama Canal. Also Canadian Honduras down here, as well as, is that Spanish? Yeah, Spanish Belize. The Mexican government does still exist, just in Veracruz. Well, actually, it's called Mexican Veracruz, but Veracruz is here controlled by the U.S. I was gonna say, that doesn't look like Veracruz. I love that Germany just took over all of France and was just like, all right, we're good. We're not gonna go into any more wars. Latvia getting bigger as they're kicking out the Argentinians or whoever had Greece and Turkey. And a bunch of rockets flying at Colombia, taking over northern parts of South America. India does still exist, but they don't look very good. I mean, the Canadians and Spanish are taking them all over. Mexico still has Tasmania, the Spanish ice shelf. What? Finally, Hungary has completed the puzzle. They grabbed Bulgaria, so they are just the Balkans, I guess. French do still exist in Brazil, though. Oh, and so is Germany, Paraguay. The year is 2050. Let's see the results. It's been like 75 plus 150 years of war, 225 years of war, something like that. Antarctica looks like it's changed hands a couple times. All of South America is now speaking German, including the French parts. So France was not able to retain their language, even though they do retain, at least by name, they're here. Oh, wait a second. That might not necessarily be, oh no, it's still Latin. It's not German. It's just, there's still, okay, Germany controls that. It's just not German because this is Latin. The US is, however, extending English to the northern parts of Mexico, which is their territory. There's still a lot of Arabic spoken here, and it looks like it's even been going down a little bit. Chinese is still spoken in the Chinese controlled controlled part of the American Empire. This is one of those things that probably takes a long time to get through. The languages take, oh man, that'd be funny if they were speaking Swedish though, and it doesn't look like, I think they're still speaking Japanese, but that's funny. Obviously the US have control of like pretty much the entire world's industry now, but industry has been growing a lot in Europe, specifically the eastern parts. Funny enough, even though we have like colonial empires all over the place, most of the world's pretty stable. There is a couple of places that obviously are not stable in Africa, the Middle East, but like Latvia has those weird borders. They're stable. People love living in Latvia. Finally, I didn't even check out the terrain map mode where you can really see giant mountains like the Himalayas or the deserts that the Germans control at this point, massive Amazon rainforest, or the rocky regions of the western side of the US, the ice that's up here in North Pole and Antarctica. Well, obviously the Americans have completely won. They also have all of Saudi Arabia as well as Madagascar and parts of Africa. This wasn't even close, but it does help when they can move around the North Pole. Big thanks to my patrons this month. Kansas was mentioned. King Bear Hayes, John Denver, I can't sleep without Drew's voice. The beautiful Megan, Under Archaeology, A Fat Norwal, Carmel S, Connor Pavlik, Douche Baggins, Frederick Luxembourg, Jack Trim, Tamron Friend, Kirino Sebi, if you hear this, girl, I love you. The Mexican 760 boy.